Hello from the Lodi course of the Delhi Golf Club. We are here to talk about the inaugural DGC O'pen, and with me today are Major Ravinder Singh Bedi and Mr. Rohit Savabran, who were the president and the captain at the time when this course underwent a major redevelopment. So gentlemen, welcome, and must be a matter of great pride for you that finally the refurbished Lodi course is getting to see a international tournament.
Well, thank you, Robin. It is indeed like a dream come true in a manner of speaking, because if you look at it from a certain perspective, it's been years, and I think the ultimate, rather one of the major objectives of redeveloping the course was to have one of our own tournaments. So it's a culmination of all that.
I think it's a great dream to implement the vision of Mr. late Raj Sriram, and he had the vision to implement this first renovation, and then the fact that you'll be able to have your own home tournament. And yeah, it's also a great pleasure to hear from all our members. Every time I'm here, some member or the other walks up and will say that the course is absolutely playing beautiful. It gives us a lot of sense of achievement that in a short period duration of 9 months we do what we did, and this is the result right now. And the fact is we are hosting our own tournament, which is part of the Asian Tour, and Mr. Gary Player himself is going to be here. So all that adds up, and it really feels good. But let's not joke about it. The course is playing much more difficult. It's playing much harder than it was earlier. It's no longer that the plain flat greens, and it's a lot of degree of difficulty has been brought in, and it's lovely to do all that.
You just touched upon this, that 9-month period pull off a project of this magnitude would have had its share of challenges. Just talk us through that.
There was a debate on this. We had formed an empowered committee to do the course, and there was a serious debate which lasted over many sessions as to do we space it out, how do we go about actually implementing this, and there were varying opinions. There were opinions ranging from let's do 6 at a time, then there was an opinion, no, let's do 9 this year, and let's do 9 the next year. The challenges for doing it as quickly as possible was basically the logistics. This requires a huge amount of planning in terms of getting the right materials, supplying the right materials at the right time, and I think that is where Rohit came into his best. So the committee decided finally that okay guys, let's take the pain for 1 year and do it in 9 months, rather than to take the pain every 6 months or every year, do 9 now and 9 again, then the course will be perpetually closed. So that was the most important decision, I think, that the committee took at the time. But the implementation part, he was the captain and he was responsible for the entire flow of logistics, etc. So I think he's more competent to talk about that.
Well, in sheer numbers, we brought in loads of sand, loads of material, loads of piping, and it had to be dovetailed into when you needed it. It had to be there, it had to be saved, the consistency and quality had to be perfect. And we had a very exacting taskmaster in the form of our project manager, Theo, South African, and he works with Gary Player Design lots of projects all over the world. And he wouldn't take anything short of what he wanted. What he wanted was what he wanted. He wouldn't, even what you see here, this entire cart path, he must have badgered us, I don't know how long, that this is what his vision was, so that from the tee you don't see the cart paths in front. It just comes out from the side. and this was his thing. He could see what we couldn't see. I mean, we hadn't done something like that before. He had. So it was a great team effort. It was a very great team effort. It was a lot of, and I think we also managed to, as Isa will tell you, that we also managed to do this without a major budget outlay.
So, taking off from what Rohit has just said, I think this would not have been possible if the planning of having the right quality materials at the right time, because otherwise everything gets put back. You're ready for the next stage, but you don't have the materials. So that it was very, very intricate planning, and I think the office with his guidance and input, I think we just lucky that everything came at the right time, the right quality. Tests carried out in various labs in terms of the sand, etc. So to the T, it was perfectly planned. And yes, in terms of the budget, I think our promise to the club was that we would not spend any money from the club. Now, that is a promise made, and therefore we had to work doubly hard to make sure that we don't go back on our promise. And so we did raise more money than we actually spent on the course. And in that, I think Rohit made a brief mention of the late Siddharth Sriram. Visionary, and I think the seeds of this whole project was from his quarter. Unfortunately, during his own presidency and the next one, it could not materialize for various reasons, which I don't think is a proper platform to go into. But when we took over, we were totally convinced that that is the way forward. And in the very first meeting of the General Committee in our tenure, we made it very clear that the very first meeting will only discuss this issue and take a decision, and not leave the hall, not leave the boardroom till we have a decision, yes or no. Yeah. So then of course that was a whole interesting meeting. We can talk about it some other time. But so we took the decision to go ahead and get a modern world standard course, but also to take it forward and have our own professional tour.
While retaining the old world charm
of the club, you're right,
yes.
without changing the basic nature, to up the what is known as the greens complexes, 40-50 meters from the greens. And so what you see now is basically that, and then there is further development as we went along, as the designers sort of requested us to do. But so he foresaw this in two stages. He said, let's do this course first, and then let's own a tournament and take ourselves to the next level in terms of the. So unfortunately, he here no longer, but he certainly was the visionary. Right. And I think, as far as we are concerned, we were convinced that that is the way forward, and therefore we did what we could.
But Bedi Saab, I think both of you, when you look back, I think you must be thanking your stars that you did that project at one go, because then within a couple of months COVID happened. And had you kind of taken the call of 6 at a time, the project might have got stuck.
Yes, it would have, definitely. I mean, it's now been what, almost 3 years since we completed the project in November of 2019. So it's what, 2.5 years from when we completed the project, and we look back with a lot of satisfaction.
Yes, of course. But getting back to the course now, the general perception of the old Lodi course is that jhadis come into play.
Well, they still come into play.
But now, what are the things one needs to be mindful of?
So, on a couple of holes, the risk-reward factors have been brought in. The 18th, there was a bunker on the fairway which came into play on your tee shot. That's gone. This hole, the first hole, there's a bunker placed very strategically short of the green, So if you don't carry it, if you carry it, you might be a little more plus. But then
the old one. What this new design has done is it has retained all its difficulties, and the difficulties have been added on. The old difficulties all remain: the jungles, the narrow fairways. What has been added on is, Rohit said, a number of bunkers which weren't there before. So it's in that, and then of course the additional difficulty added on is the greens. They are, you really got to read them. They are no longer flat. They've got any number of nuances. So the old difficulties plus the new difficulties is what Rohit said is make it much more challenging now when ever.
So, gentlemen, looking ahead, next week the tournament starts. Are you excited, or is there a sense of nervousness? How do you feel?
I think it's a bit of both. We're very excited that we're hosting a tournament of this stature after this gap of COVID and everything else. And yes, there is a bit of nervousness. The course is going to be tested for the first time in this sense, at this level. And I don't know if my predictions turn out right or wrong, but I don't expect scores for more than under 15.
Great. All the very best, and thank you very much.
Thank you.